Hello wellness warriors, and welcome back to another video. We are going to just jump right in and start cooking some delicious healthy dinner recipes. So the first meal that we are going to make is rigatoni in a roasted tomato and red bell pepper sauce. Sounds so good. It's really simple to make and it tastes delicious, and it's packed with lots of nourishing real foods. First things first, we are going to start by chopping up the ingredients that are going to roast in the oven, since these are going to take the longest to cook. So I've got some red onion, red bell pepper, Roma tomatoes, and I do like to remove the seeds for those, and then also some garlic. We're going to add this onto a cookie sheet lined with a silicone baking mat, drizzle with avocado oil, and add on a dash of salt and pepper. Next, I used my hands to just toss this all together, and then we're going to put this in the oven to roast at 375 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes. You want the edges to look golden brown and for everything to be fork tender. Now, while that's roasting, bring a pot of water to a boil and season it with some salt. And then I also had some fresh herbs from my garden that I wanted to add into this recipe. Today I am using fresh rosemary and some parsley, but you could also use basil and thyme. Truly, whatever you have, get creative. You can even use a combination of different spices. And if you don't have fresh herbs, that's okay. You can definitely sub in some dried herbs as well. When the water comes to a boil, you can go ahead and add in your pasta. You can use whatever pasta you like. It could be bean pasta, brown rice pasta, regular pasta, whole wheat pasta, einkorn pasta, whatever it is that you love. And then as soon as that is pretty much al dente kind of done, we are going to take out some pasta water. You want about a half a cup. All of the measurements are listed on the blog post on my website, so you can look for the full recipe measurements and directions and everything there. And then I just drained the pasta water and added that back into the pot. And then with the vegetables that are roasted, we're gonna put this into a food processor, and along with our fresh herbs. And then also we are going to put in some dried ones as well. I had some dried oregano and some basil because I didn't have any fresh on hand, and I just love the way that those taste. And then I also put in some salt and pepper, a big spoonful of tahini, which is just ground sesame seeds. Makes this really creamy without having to add actual cream. And then I put in some of that pasta water and also some tomato paste, which I just forgot to film. And then blended that all together until it was nice and smooth. And then we add that into the frying pan with our pasta. Toss that all together, let it cook for like 1 to 2 minutes just to kind of get all the flavors blended and put together. And then the sauce gets stuck in all the ridges of the pasta. It's so good. And then what I like to do is just top it with some more fresh herbs, a little bit of freshly pecorino romano cheese, and some more freshly ground black pepper. And there you go, dinner is served. This meal definitely gives me penne alla vodka vibes, but it's a little healthier because there is no cream in here, and it's a little bit lighter on the cheese. And then you can also add in meat to this dish to make it more filling, whatever you like. Hey you guys, I wanted to take a quick moment to share with you a sneak peek into my cookbook. It's called the Simply Health with Marissa cookbook, Eating to Nourish the Body and Soul. I have always loved to cook. I grew up in my kitchen with a deep appreciation for both food and eating. And a few years ago, I felt so strongly about bringing this love of cooking, food, and eating to all of you. As a pharmacist and integrative nutrition health coach, I know and have seen what can happen to our health when we aren't nourishing ourselves by eating lots and lots of real, whole, nourishing foods. Our body requires nutrients every day in order to stay healthy, provide us with energy, and to help us thrive in our life. But in addition to this, a huge part of healthy eating is also learning to cook and eat foods that are going to provide us with enjoyment, satisfaction, and even love. And when we can balance these two, we are able to promote health and actually enjoy food and eating again. This cookbook shares 23 of my staple recipes that I cook all of the time for myself and for my family, and they nourish both your body and your soul. I hope that you use this cookbook to help make healthy cooking and eating simpler, doable, and also incredibly delicious. There is a link in the description box to order your own copy today. Healthy dinner recipe number 2 is Greek chicken gyros with homemade lemony tzatziki sauce. This is one of my favorite dinners to make, especially in the summer, because it doesn't require a lot of cooking or a lot of extra heat that's produced from the stove or the oven or whatever. And in the summer, it's just really easy to make. So Start by slicing a chicken breast into thin strips, season it with some salt and pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder. Use your hands or some tongs to toss that all together. And next, you're going to saute each piece until each side is golden brown and the middle is fully cooked through. And then at the very end, what I like to do is to deglaze the pan with some water. You could also use some chicken broth if you'd like. And I just pour this over the chicken. There's so much flavor in this and it keeps the chicken from drying out. Now I like to prep my toppings. So I have some red cabbage that I'm slicing up into small pieces. I also had some romaine lettuce and some cherry tomatoes that I quartered. And then for our tzatziki sauce, I am just doing a little bit of prep for that as well. And that is for the cucumbers there. And then next to the cucumbers, I had some fresh herbs that I chopped up off camera. So that's some fresh dill and fresh mint. It gives great flavor to the tzatziki sauce. And then in the bowl with the fresh herbs and the cucumber, we're gonna start assembling our tzatziki sauce. So I have a lemon, we're gonna zest the whole thing. It gives it that great lemony flavor. That's why I like to name it the lemony tzatziki sauce. And then we're gonna take half of the lemon and we're gonna juice that right into the bowl. I'm also gonna add in a little bit of minced garlic, a little bit of salt, and a drizzle of avocado oil. And then we're gonna finish it off with some plain Greek yogurt. I'm actually using the Siggi's yogurt, so it's not really Greek yogurt, but it's very thick, just like Greek yogurt. So any type of thick, plain yogurt would work perfectly for this. Give it all a good stir until it looks just like that. And then what I like to do is just heat up my Euro bread. I'm actually using a homemade sourdough naan bread here, but you can use a flatbread, naan bread, you can use a Euro, whatever you like, and then we're going to assemble it. So I put the naan bread on the plate, a nice generous helping of the tzatziki sauce, some chicken, and then all of my toppings, along with some freshly crumbled feta cheese and a nice little squeeze of lemon juice. And there you go, dinner is served.
Y'all, you need to wish me some luck picking this thing up. I don't think it's gonna go well. I gotta remember to make my naan bread just a little bit larger next time. I don't think we're gonna be able to fold it. We're just gonna go for it. Let's just go for the taste test. I'm sure it's all over my nose. But it is good, and that makes it all okay.
Healthy dinner recipe number 3 is loaded beef chili. So a friend of mine recently made some chili and it was amazing, and she gave me a couple of suggestions for the next time that I make it. So I'm using her suggestions in this recipe here. So I peeled and chopped up some carrot. I also chopped up a bell pepper. Any color would work. Today I'm using orange. I chopped up some celery, some red onion, and some Roma tomatoes. And I like to remove the seeds, just as I did earlier for the other recipe, just because I find that the seeds can make it a little bitter. Plus, I just don't love the texture. So remove that, chopped everything up, and this is what it looked like. And then in a medium-sized pot, I heated up some avocado oil and I sauteed the chopped red onion along with some minced garlic, seasoned it with some freshly ground black pepper and a dash of salt, and then I just gave it a good stir and allowed it to saute. Once it started to get golden brown on the bottom, I sauteed the orange bell pepper, and then I also cooked up the ground beef and use the wooden spoon just to break it up into little bite-sized pieces. Once that was all done, the rest of the vegetables went into the pot, and then I poured in a 28-ounce can of tomato sauce, and then I filled that up with water and added that in as well. I did that because I didn't have any beef broth on hand, so I used the water and then a big scoop of beef bouillon. And then I also put in some drained and rinsed beans, and I used a combination of kidney beans, black beans, and pinto beans, along with some tomato paste, which I was clearly running out of. And then I like to add in my spices at this point. So for chili, I typically add in quite a bit of spices, and it's mostly dried herbs and spices. I did have some leftover fresh parsley that I chopped from before from that other dinner recipe idea, so I just threw that in as well, but that's totally optional. So I had onion powder, garlic powder, I had paprika, some ground cumin, and some chili powder, and also some dried oregano. And then I just add that all in there, use the wooden spoon to stir it until everything is well mixed and combined. I put a lid on there just slightly, just so that it doesn't splatter everywhere. And then I let it cook for about 25 to 30 minutes. And this is what it looked like once it was all done. And there you go, you have another dinner served. So I like to top mine with some shredded cheese and some romaine lettuce along with some avocado. I hope that you all enjoyed this video. The full recipes are linked down below on my blog, and be sure to subscribe for more healthy meal ideas and recipes and to regain your health. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.